Hey everyone, today we are going to be comparing and ordering integers. So the first thing I have here is this little cloud that says, how do we compare numbers? What symbols do we use? We are going to use two symbols. We are going to use less than and we are going to use greater than. Okay, and then just to remember that the opening is always towards the larger number. The first thing we're going to talk about is comparing numbers with the same sign and then comparing numbers with different signs. When two numbers have the same sign, so this -2 and -3, I'm going to draw a number line up here. So here's 0, -1, -2, -3. And what I want you to see about the -2 and the -3 is that while they are next to each other, -3 is further away from 0. So I can say that -2 is greater than -3, or I can say that -3 is less than -2. Both of those statements are true. And we have to know that the understanding is that a number further away from 0, even to the left, is going to be less than a number closer to 0. When I'm comparing numbers with different signs, positives are always greater than negatives. So it doesn't matter what numbers you're comparing. So here I'm comparing 2 and -3. 2 is always going to be bigger than -3 because a positive is always bigger than a negative. So here I can write 2 is greater than -3 or -3 is less than +2. So in example 1, it says Justin has a score of -5 on the Trueville trivia game. Desiree's score is -3. Write an inequality to compare the scores. So I can write that -5 is less than -3. Again, on a number line, -5 is going to be further away from 0 to the left. Or you can write -3 is greater than -5. The meaning of this inequality, so then it says, then explain the meaning of the inequality. This inequality means that Justin's score is less than Desiree's. Or we can say that Desiree is winning. That's an option as well. So Justin is losing, Justin's score is less, Desiree's score is greater, or Desiree is winning. Part B says Andrew and his father are hiking near Tackle Box Canyon. Their current elevation in relation to sea level is -38 feet. Tackle Box Canyon has an elevation of -83 feet. Write an inequality to compare the elevations. So -38 is going to be closer to 0, so it's greater than -83. Or -83 is less than -38. And then for the meaning of the inequality, I can say that Tackle Box Canyon is farther below sea level than the two hikers. Is further below sea level than the two hikers. Okay, and that's just explaining that we understand what our inequality symbols are trying to say in this situation. In example 2, we're going to be ordering integers. It says use a number line to order the sets of integers from least to greatest. So I've got 0, and I'm going to go all the way to -8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So -8, -1, 3, and 6. So the order of my integers is going to be -8, -1, 0, 3, 6. Over here, I'm not going to make it as beautiful of a number line. So here is 0, and then I've got to go all the way to -50. So 10, 20, 30, 40, -50, and then I'm going to go out to 20, 10, 20. So -50, -48, -43, negative 41. We're getting a little tight in here. And then 12 and 19. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. So this is going to be negative 48, negative 43. This is going to be negative 41. And then I've got 12 and 19. So the order of my integers is going to be negative 50, negative 48, negative 43, negative 41, and then 12 and 19. You want to order them from least to greatest. Well, your number line is listed in order from least to greatest, furthest left to furthest right. So on the next one, I'm going to have my 0. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So negative 10. Negative 3, so in between 2 and 4. 0. 4. And then 8. So the order of my integers is negative 10, negative 3, 0, 4, and 8. Again, listing those numbers from left to right after I've graphed them on the number line. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here's negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 1, 3, and 5. So negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 1, 3, 5. Now it is really important that you pay attention to the fact that this is least to greatest. That's why I'm listing them from left to right on the number line. It is very rare that you'll be asked to do something from greatest to least, but we do need to pay attention to those directions. So least to greatest means furthest left to furthest right on the number line. Part D says the table shows the lowest accessible elevations for several continents. Order the continents from least to greatest according to their lowest elevation. So my lowest elevation is going to be South America, then North America, then Antarctica, then Australia. Because negative 105 would be first, it's the furthest to the left, negative 86 would be next, then negative 50, then negative 15. The least accessible elevation is going to be South America. And the greatest is going to be Australia because it's closest to sea level. Part E says the table shows the freezing points in degrees Celsius for 6 substances. Nitric acid freezes at negative 42 degrees Celsius. Between the freezing points of which 2 substances is the freezing point of nitric acid? Well, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to order these numbers from least to greatest by their substance. So negative 95, or acetone, is first. So I'm going to cross that out. Then carbon dioxide at negative 78. Sorry about my dog. Then negative 6, so aniline. Then negative 2, which is going to be seawater. Then 0, which is going to be water. And then 17 for acetic acid. Now I'm going to figure out where this negative 42 fits in. So nitric acid freezes at negative 42 degrees. Well, negative 42 is going to be in here. So this is nitric acid. And I'm going to say between carbon dioxide and aniline. So here I put the values in order and then figured out where that number fit into the order that I already had. Okay, so this was comparing and ordering integers. To compare, you can compare numbers with the same sign or with different signs. And then to order, you can use the number line to create a list from least to greatest, or you can go from furthest left to furthest right, or most negative to least negative without a number line.